And yes, court in session with me, out dressed in his memorabilia from, at the time it was Solar Dynamic Happen Bulls. And this was a gift I got from Warren Barry Rock, he was the head coach, I was the assistant. But I don't think you tune in to listen to that. You want to hear my esteemed co-host. This is Alan Pinder, the Beta Scout, and Keelan Phillips, Avenger only one and coach. I heard through the grapevine. I don't know. I don't know, but I heard that through the grapevine. Anyway, let's get to it. The saga that keeps on giving, Jimmy Butler. He has now been suspended indefinitely without pay. Okay, well, I will put it out to you, Alan. Do you really think that the Heat will bait Butler into walking out and so that they would not have to pay him?
I don't think you have to bait Jimmy. I mean, this has kind of been Jimmy's MO for a little bit, right? So once Jimmy's unhappy in the situation, he's ready to leave. You know he's going to behave a particular way. And once you're willing to enforce your team cultures and willing to enforce your team rules pretty strictly, you know, he's gonna make it very easy for you. On the team with the Heat culture and all of that, and I'm at Pat Riley, yeah, it's gonna be very easy for them just to find something to fight him for. There's a good chance he gets a lot of money back in arbitration, but at least it keeps him away from the team so the guys can just focus and not have to worry distraction. I mean, it's going to be a distraction because they're going to ask about it all the time, but yeah, they don't really have to bait Jimmy, man. Jimmy's going to walk face first into that stuff.
Oh, you Keelan, you really feel that the bait, Jimmy, or you think Jimmy's just being Jimmy?
Right now, I about to mute the words Jimmy Butler, Miami Heat, suspension, wants out, trade. Lord have mercy. Look, yeah, as Alan said, Jimmy is a very emotional guy. In the sense that like he's gonna say what he thinks. He's not gonna hold back, he's not gonna think or whatever. So the report was that they asked Jimmy to come off the bench for Haywood Hinesmith.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was what was reported. I don't know how true it is, but and for that's the reason why he walked out of practice. So yeah, Jimmy didn't play with that, and the Heat was like, well, you walk out of practice. This is the fourth. This is pretty much like your fourth detriment, conduct to detriment, or whatever the case is. So that's why it is they can suspend him indefinitely. Whenever it's like a particular something, like if it's like, oh, he was late for something, late for that, then you could suspend him for like a 2 game or 1 game, whatever. When it's that conduct detriment thing, they could determine however long they want to suspend you, and then on top of that, with the money that he be losing from the game checks. But I just say he'll probably get back some of that from the Players Association when they do that whole thing. But yeah, I tell you, I tell you this trade somebody, and let me just get along. Like trade somebody and just let us just move on.
He do say that they are more willing to trade him now, and they have dropped their price. So,
yeah, they dropped their price. So,
which the Warriors are now deep in the mix.
Yeah, I don't think that they were getting great offers before, anyways. Because it's like, but if the person want to leave, then why should we give up a ransom for also 36-year-old Asian star, anyways? But know that they lowered the offer. Hopefully he can get traded so this mess can end. They got Heat fans that just want this thing to end. Like they just want it to end. So you can imagine non-Heat fans just seeing it over and over again.
I just have there's something annoying at me, right? And I don't know how you can have a team with the person who obviously wants to be out and you expect that person to come and perform at his best. And to me, that is an oxymoron, really. I don't think that could ever happen. If the issue here is money on both sides, it is not joy or also.
Yeah.
If the Miami Heat is saying that 3-year extension that he needed, that he wanted, his joy would have come out real fast.
Yeah.
So it is about money, and it's about money on both sides. Pat Riley don't want to pay him to stay home, so he niggle him, and knowing that how Jimmy's operate, and he knows that once he does that, Jimmy can just blow up, and he could just mention it was conduct unbecoming or conduct detriment to the team or whatever this the pretty phrase that's hit you with, and he will go to leave, and they won't have to pay him. Obviously, they can probably got to give him some money, some suspended money that they will get back in arbitration or when the Players Association get involved. But I just think that it really is not looking good for none of them. It didn't look good for Butler at the beginning. No, it's starting to look vindictive from the Heat.
I think. Oh, sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying part of the issue is really new CBA because normally teams would look to trade these guys and you come into your last year of the contract. But because it's sometimes it seems it might be better to let a guy walk and get that cap space rather than bring in someone else and offset your books for a couple of years more. I think they were just willing to say, okay, well, Jimmy, we don't want to offer you an extension. Let's say you play your contract and then, you can walk in any year and do what you need to do.
The problem is, though,
I think that should have been okay. I mean, he just plays out his contract and picks his player option if he wants, or if not, go where he wants to go in the summer. I don't to be necessarily go in this crazy because there are other players who have been in similar situations and they just let it play out.
Yeah, I think the player option thing though that could have thrown a fork in the wrench because he probably would take up that player option. That's $52 million.
He said he's not going to.
Well, he can say that, but then unless another team is gonna really give him that money out there, he can say that. But then when you see, hey, I could get $52 million just signing my extension, and then if they don't want me to play basketball, just stay home. But then if they do, I could get traded or whatever. He might end up signing it. I don't know.
Because sign out option is fine for the Heat because then it makes it a little easier to trade him in the summer or not, right? So I think Chris Paul did something similar. Chris Paul, he had a bigger option for this last year. But he signed a deal with not as much money for next year, but the length of it, he made it back. So I think that's what Jimmy's looking at right now because I don't think he expects to get an extension 50, even 40 more plus going forward.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't think he has done his stock any good, I must admit. But they say that it was PG that was in this same position and he played out and then he walked. But it ain't working out so good for the Philadelphia 76ers. No, so
But PG was professional. He didn't get the extension he want. He didn't just put down tools. Why continue to come to work? Do you got to do? Ball out, and he got paid in free agency.
Yeah, but everybody in
PG. What's so different though?
Yeah, everybody in PG 1 and 2, a max contract didn't come in. Butler. Anyway. I am also very tired of hearing this Butler, but I just think that the Heat just played this. Well, obviously, it's about money from both sides, and the owners look after themselves, look after the franchise, and the players got to look after themselves. And I don't think that he started out doing it well, and I don't think it got any better. Right? It just got worse from there, and then Pat Riley wanted to show that he's still Pat Riley and he has the blah, blah, blah. So he threw down the gauntlet and then you get in front a whole Heat group and tell them that you can put Jimmy Butler on the bench for who? Smith? Tower? I don't even know the man name.
Smith over me.
Right. Yeah, and I remember that rant that you put in chat. Anyway, that is the Heat Butler. Once upon a time, when they have these movies and somebody get killed, they say the Butler did it. They don't know if the Butler did it in this one. I think it was the Heat. Anyway, some breaking news came this evening late, which was Fox asking for a trade, or sorry, Fox being shocked by Sacramento. That was the first report. The second report said that his representatives thought it would be better for them to move him now, or let him leave for nothing later. So the Sacramento Kings are accepting any packages for De'Aaron Fox. I just want to ask one question. Well, more than one, but let me start with the first one. Keelan, what do you think would be the best? First thing, do you think it's a good idea for the Sacramento Kings to trade Fox?
If he has made it clear that he's not going to sign an extension, that's tricky because as Alan said with the new CBA, it could still, like, there are situations where like it could be best to let him walk, but also if it depends on what Sacramento Kings want to do.
But he's a franchise player, is he?
Yeah, but it still depends on, like, do they want to initiate a rebuild, like a full-on rebuild, or a soft reboot, right? That could determine, like, okay, if it's a soft reboot, are we gonna get some more decent player, like readier no players, right? So we can still try to at least maybe compete for a playing spot, playoff spot, or whatever the case is. Or if it's gonna be a full reboot where they trade a Fox or whatever, then it could be all right. We want more young players, we want a lot of picks. So it depends on what they want to do as a franchise. Because actually San Antonio went through something similar when they had DeJounte, right? They saw like Wemby. It was the year before Wemby, so Wemby was coming out in the draft, and they had to make a decision. All right, were they gonna still try to maybe fight for a playoff spot or a playing spot with DeJounte signing some maybe some free agents and kind of like be a middling team, or are they gonna just trade everybody and then just rebuild, right, and go on for a full on rebuild? So it kind of depends on what the Kings want to do. It's never an easy decision when your franchise player says that it kind of wow. It always puts you in a tough spot, and then the Sacramento Kings are not the best franchise in terms of handling stuff anyway. So I don't know, but it's a tough situation to be in.
Alan, I see you shaking your head when they say if he's a franchise player. You don't think he's a franchise player?
I'm not sure he's a franchise player in the same vein of as what Keelan is with his franchise player. I mean, that's more of a real franchise.
But
And
hey, there's only one unicorn, man.
yeah, true. But he is. I mean, he definitely has a lot of value. It seems that the extension talks broke down, and he does not want to resign with the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
So it just made sense for the Kings to get value for him in this case. I don't think it would be made as much sense for them to just let him walk.
Mm-hmm.
But they know they can get a substantial package. I mean, he's still a very good young player. Probably not a number one option, but probably a very good number two option on the high level team. So I think what they would get about a substantial package for him, particularly if they get him to the destination he really wants to go. And it seems that he wants to go where, with the alien, with Keelan.
Yeah, say it.
On that side of the world,
Let's go.
And give it to the real point guard that he really needs, So we'll see what happens there. But that seems to where Clutch is trying to direct him to go. So once he does go to San Antonio definitely has a lot that they can give him back, but probably not as much heavy on players. They're probably going to get a lot of picks.
Yeah.
I think that will probably signal a rebuild for the Kings. So, because I don't think they're necessarily going to try and compete around Domantas Sabonis, who is also another excellent player, but not necessarily a number one player that you build around. So I think Kings are probably going to reluctantly end up going through a rebuild right now, but we'll see what package they get back.
So, since you're talking packages, I was looking at it. Who can, outside of Keelan's team,
No.
Spurs,
I part this call one more.
outside of that Spurs team, who can offer them a package that they will really want? Because I've heard some teams, because it is club sports and all, everybody feel like everybody can play for Lakers once it's clutch. But Lakers don't have the package the same, one.
No.
And even if they get another team involved, I still don't think they have anything that anybody really wants. So outside of Spurs, who you think can actually put together a package to get Fox?
I wonder if
It is fantastic with the Houston Rockets, probably.
Yep.
But Rockets have said they want to stay apart and see how this team really moves forward going right now. So I don't think they want to pull the trigger right now, but Rockets he'll do well the Rockets. Rockets could use a big offensive player like him. And they have the defensive. I mean, Fox is not a bad defensive player, but they have the defensive infrastructure around him that they can still be great, add him into their team. And yeah, Rockets have a lot of picks and even a few good young players that they can send back for Fox as well. So yeah, Rockets make a lot of sense.
All right. And what about you, Keelan? What do you think? Only Rockets? I know you only want Spurs, but
no. I as much as I obviously only want Spurs, but the Rockets do have they have a really good young core. They got Sangoon, they got Jalen Green, they got Amen Thompson, they still got Cam Whitmore, they got Reed Shepard. Like, I know people haven't really been talking with him because the team has been good and he hasn't really been needed, so he can develop slowly. But he was the number 3 pick in the last draft, right? So like there is still some value. Teams could definitely want the young player. Oh, and he might be kind of slowly phasing out of their plans, maybe, but like Jabari Smith Jr., like he's still a young player from like 2 years ago, I think. This would be like his 3rd year or something. Or
3rd year, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like he's still another young player, a 6'10" guy that could shoot and rebound and stuff like that. So they have pieces that they can give. However, as report said, and I kind of agree with the statement, like the stats on it, building to see what they have, right? Because they do have young players that are slightly ahead of other young players on other teams. They're the 2nd seed in the US. They are young enough where it's like they don't have to force a trade to get that player to put them over the edge. Well, put them over the edge per se. If they get the 2nd or 3rd seed and they get knocked out even in the 1st round or even the 2nd round, like if they get out in the 1st round, that's still seen as a successful season, right? And their players can always build on that. Maybe they could do something else in the off season. There might be somebody else available. So I agree with these not putting the stats. No, Amen Thompson is improving. Like, it seems like day by day. So the biggest, and then too, when you have a player like Fox, right, who's gonna want a lot of money as an extension, then you still got Sangoon and Jalen Green, or are you giving up one of them? And then it's like, can you keep all 3? And then so that might create some more.
Green's gonna have that deal for sure.
Huh? Green's gonna
have that deal for sure.
Yeah, because they were kind of in between Sangoon and Green in choosing which one they kind of is the main guy, which is kind of working out good for them, seeing as both of them are still on the team and they're already 2nd seed. So it's kind of showing that they can coexist. And they're still really young. I feel like players give up on a lot of young players really early if they don't get success in like a year or 2. This or whatever. So yeah, obviously Rockets, but we don't care about the Rockets. It's about the Spurs. Okay, get into the Spurs.
Yeah. The other thing about the whole Sacramento thing, because they elevated, they promoted Christie.
Mhm.
I don't think Christie is what. Do you think that, or let me ask another way. Do you think that Christie is the man going forward?
Because
Yeah, Alan, go ahead if you want.
no, 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 if he continues to win, but I don't think they necessarily thought he would be the guy, but if he
Yeah.
continues to have success, he may win himself the head coaching job.
Yeah, it could be a situation where he wasn't in the plans initially, but if he continues to win, okay, even if he doesn't and they do trade Fox and then they say, okay, well, we doing a rebuild, so we got to trade Sabonis, probably see if he get anything for DeRozan as well. Like at that point, you would have a new coach, a new a newly minted coach with a rebuilding team. And at that point, you could kind of give him like coach the team and see how you are as a coach, what he can do, what his strengths are, or whatever. So like he might not have been in the plans initially, but if they go on this rebuild, if Fox and all these guys get traded, he might end up being a decent thing. Like the unfortunate thing for the Kings, they ended the playoff drought, which was very. I mean, sometimes every team can't win. Every team can't be a contender every single year. Every team can't win a championship, right? Some teams you have success in sometimes just breaking a playoff drought for like almost 20 years, right? However, when they traded for Sabonis, there was a clear cap on their ceiling, right? As we established, we think Fox is more so a very good number two than a number one. Same with Sabonis, probably a two, maybe even if he's like a third of a big three, possibly. But there was a clear ceiling on them in terms of being able to really get to that next level. So they were always going to be, capped in a way.
Well, that is Fox and his dilemma, because apparently, like the NBA, like is a whole soap opera now.
Yeah, it was boring
It
for too
coming
long.
close. It coming close to the trade deadline, so I expect
Yeah.
the soap opera to get really spicy.
Yeah.
Um, then we have the Lakers, and AD sat down and had a long interview, and and mentioned that the Lakers still need help. I Okay, Alan, do you think the Lakers still need help?
Yeah, well, I'm very interested to hear your point of view as the resident Laker fan here, right? So I think your view on this is probably the best and most pertinent. But I do think they need help. I'm not sure if they need the help that AD is calling for, because he thought about him playing center, sorry, well, him playing power forward and having a center next to him, and things were best when he had that big guy next to him. But unless he is shooting like he was back in the bubble, I don't think he's going to be able to survive and have the same success with a Dwight Howard type next to him. Um, I think you also forgot that Jackson Hayes is on his team as well, right? He's not really calling for more minutes for Jackson Hayes. So saying that you really need a center and, the young fella's right there, I don't think that's great for the young fella's confidence. But yeah, I think they need some help on the wing with wing defenders. I think getting Dorian Finney-Smith and getting Vandal back will help with that tremendously. So it seems to be helping in the short term. But they're a very good home team, struggle a bit on the road. It'll be interesting to see how they're doing this road trip right now. Besides that, yeah, I think they probably could be, if those two guys turn out to be good elite defenders on the wing, because the Lakers' main problem this season has been defense. And during this good period they're in right now, their defense, I think, has been like around top 10 or so. So they need to continue on that road. LeBron needs to be engaged defensively consistently throughout the season, because that's been a serious problem for them as well. So I think they could do a few more things to establish themselves on the defensive end. Maybe get another big, but I don't think he needs to be the start level big, probably just another good big defender. I think, yeah, they could. Kenny West is relatively open, really outside of the top two teams, but really outside OKC, honestly.
Mm.
I mean, they could be right in the mix there to potentially get to the West semifinals. So,
What about you, Keelan? I know that you're not a Lakers fan, but what do you think about Lakers and all this help that they need? I will tell you what I think, but I'll let you talk first.
Yeah, a team with AD and now a 40-year-old Braun is always gonna need, I guess, more help. And that's not even a shot at Braun or whatever, but like the reality is that he's getting old. And asking him to be the number one, I mean, at this point, he's not even the number one, like scoring the team is 80. But asking him to have to carry that load, so as he's getting older or whatever, the rest of the team needs to elevate, right? One name I've been hearing, and I guess maybe Alan, Miles Turner, right? They've been inquiring maybe about Miles Turner because I think it's something with his contract or whatever with the Pacers. Alan, I guess Alan could tell me.
Miles is a free agent at the end of the season,
Yeah, so like
and
maybe
he's not extension eligible, so he will be a free agent.
yeah, and as Alan said, he's right. A Dwight Howard type doesn't work next to AD. I guess with the Jackson Hayes, that's why I guess he's maybe not really campaigning for Jackson Hayes as much because he's kind of like that Dwight Howard. But obviously, Miles Turner is different. Miles Turner can really shoot from outside, so he could easily space the floor with AD still being inside because that shot from 2020, I think it did in the bubble. I think he left in the bubble. I ain't too sure if that shot, how he was shooting, but I ain't too sure if it came back.
When that bubble bursts.
Yeah, literally. It's like that. That's it. But so Miles Turner is the only other thing I can think of. The the two-way defenders point that he made, that's a good point. Vando coming back during Finney Smith came back. Because as Alan said, their defense honestly was probably there. I think even still know they're ranked 22nd or 23rd in defensive rating. So it is if their defense can shore up, they still won't be championship favorites or whatever. But as Alan said, the West is wide open. Obviously OKC is another thing. Would I take Lakers over Nuggets? No. Would I take them over Grizzlies in a playoff? Maybe. Maybe. Rockets. Maybe. They kind of inexperienced, right? So like it's different for a 7-game series if you would in terms of beating them 4 times out of 7. Would it be favored? No, but like if they won a series or a thing, would I be surprised? Depending on a matchup, not really.
I'm be going on honest with you. I think Lakers will start making good decisions after LeBron retires. And I think that he should retire. I think this should be his last season. Get 50,000 points, all the other things he has 4 rings. Just retire and just let Lakers, trying to get back to some semblance of making good decisions. I don't think they made very good decisions. They made some really horrible decisions. I know they are paying for the horrible decisions that they made. I know LeBron is trying to make you feel that it's not his fault, it's all Pelinka's fault. But he had to sign off on bringing Westbrook there, right? So they mortgaged their future for Westbrook, and then halfway through the season, they would basically say he was a pariah. And then and then after that, what? Right? I don't think they need any help. I think they need for him to retire. And once he retires, then they will make some good decisions after that. I will not say he's not playing at a high level. I'm not saying that he can't contribute another 2 years, but I think they are trying to appease a 40-year-old man, and I don't know if that's the right thing at this time to be doing. And they've tried everything and they add Finney Smith and add a couple other people, but they don't really move the needle. I can't see Lakers beating OKC. Houston maybe. Um, it wants Jazz is fully healthy. I don't see them beating Grizzlies because the problem is going to be the speed. And I don't care how good LeBron is, he can't handle that speed. So they are going to find themselves like not being able to be in a good defensive position regularly because of that speed. And I think it's time. I don't think it made any sense now to try to, conjure up something. Even Miles Turner, bring Miles Turner, and then what? You understand me? Like, because you have to give us something with Miles Turner. And if the people ask for Van Doe and somebody else, then you're back to the same position, right? So I don't think I think what they should do is just shut up and play basketball. Let Brown get 50,000 points and organize a statue outside the LA thing. Retire his jersey in about 2 minutes. I mean, do all the nice things that he did for the franchise. He only bring them one chip, but he did. Obviously, he would have increased their worth being there. So to do those things and just let him retire. I think that we are trying to beat a dead horse, really, a 40-year-old dead horse. Right. So I just think that we should move on and go from there. I can't see them being a contender this year, and I don't in any future time don't see them being a contender. I mean, not with how the West start. And 1 year longer with the Rockets is going to be better. And then you're going to be dealing with that. No, you can say that they're young and inexperienced, but after this year, next year comes, you can't be saying that anymore, right? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think they're going to struggle, but when he leaves, he'll make some really good decisions. And that's it for the Lakers. And it's a good thing that we are not in the US. He probably will get deported for saying I probably got wrong by ICE for saying that LeBron should retire.
But just one thing on the Miles Turner front, the only problem is that, as you said, I don't think they have enough to get Miles Turner. And unfortunately, well, let's just say unfortunately, Indiana has no choice but to keep Miles Turner this season. Remember, both of their backup centers popped their Achilles tendons.
Yeah.
And they had to run and get Thomas Bryant from the Heat for a couple of rounds. So they absolutely need that man right now, unless they're going to get a center back in return. So unless 80 came back in the package, it's probably would have made sense, right? So
I don't think so.
Yeah,
but I agree with what you said though. That really that original say about that Westbrook trade, really is that they lost so much talent in that Westbrook trade, and they never quite recover.
correct.
LeBron and AD have the whole heavy blame for that, but I wouldn't. But Pelinka is the man who got to pull the trigger, and he got a lot of half for that as well, because he should have.
Well, he's the ultimately.
I mean, because everyone can see that was not a good fit. He should have just overruled himself and said, "No, this don't make sense, fellas."
I think even the cat outside would have figured out that wasn't a good fit.
He also made one or two other decisions, like not keeping Caruso for like the money wasn't even nothing both parties are at fault, because yes, Braun and AD would have said no on it, but Pelinka could have easily said, Braun, as much as you think this American knows, saying this is dumb, we're not doing this. So
I can be honest with you. I don't think Pelinka has that pull. I don't think that Braun could ask for something Pelinka said no.
No, I think he does.
Organization.
Because I think Braun has asked for other things before, and Pelinka hasn't given him, like Tyloo, and that's our thing. He said nah. So I don't think he has as much pull. I think he has pull, but I think Rob could really tell Braun no, and it could be no, because so far Braun's been asking for certain things, and Rob has been like, nah. I good.
All right. Well, that is it for the Lakers and all their drama.
Hollywood.
But of course, it's drama around all around the NBA. So now, last week and it's pick five. Last week in pick five, Alan was 4-5. Keelan was 3-5. It was 3-5. So it was close, but Alan was the pick of the litter in pick five. This week,
We'll come back.
this week, we look at on Wednesday, we have Denver at New York. Denver at New York.
That should be a good game.
Yeah.
I'll go to next.
You going next? You going next,
know,
Alan?
Yep, next.
Okay.
I can go. I going Nuggets. I'm pretty sure Nuggets. You say at Denver, right?
No, at New York.
Yeah, New York.
Yes.
East Coast.
All right, still getting Nuggets. So. Still getting Nuggets.
I ain't going Nuggets too. Thursday, Atlanta at Cavaliers. I get with the Cavs.
Atlanta's had their number, but
let's say like that. That's way further. like Atlanta, like against the Celtics and the Cavs, they're like what 5-1 or something. It's some crazy thing, but like against the other mid teams or whatever.
I still go with Cavs.
I can go with Cavs this time. If I'm wrong, you'd be like, oh god. But I can go with Cavs this time.
What about you, Alan?
I go 11. I go with the Hawks.
Okay. Going for him, going for the Hawks.
I think Mobley might still be out too, so we'll see.
Well, he played the other day, so I
Friday.
He did. He's
back. Yeah, I think he's back.
You want to change your pick? You can still change your pick.
I'll go the Hawks.
Oh, okay. On Friday, we have Chicago at Toronto. A battle of the scrubs.
Raptors have been better recently, actually. So I'll go the Raptors.
Going Raptors. What about you, Keelan?
Any, many, money, more. Catch a fella, honest.
That is not a scientific method to choose anything.
It isn't, but like with these two teams, you don't need any scientific method. You just need to choose one and hope for the best. I go with the Bulls, man.
Go with the Bulls.
Bulls.
Since Toronto playing, we want to go with Toronto. On Saturday is Orlando at Utah. I go with Orlando.
Magic, yeah. Go this time next.
You too, Alan? You going Magic or you going Utah?
I'll go to Magic.
And then on Sunday, Boston at Philly. Boston's not been playing well. Philly is a member of the urgent care.
I go with Celtics because no Paul George got a little injury with his finger, and we don't know how thing that can be. So,
what about you, Keelan?
No, that was me. I game with the Celtics.
Sorry, what about you, Alan?
Yep, tell us so.
I can go with Celtics because I will not. Who coaching Philly?
Nate Nurse.
Nurse, yeah.
I really feel for him because I don't think that they can ever get and be healthy enough to help them in anything.
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah, so
that's the problem, man.
Yeah, I just think that
the team is built on him.
they should cut their losses. But after you trust in that process for so long, I mean,
put fresh money in Joel and in Paul George.
Yeah, so like
put fresh money in both of them.
Yeah, but they should put money in the ambulance or the hospital. God, they spend enough time there. I don't know how you could give them max contract about Paul George. A man that has 6 surgeries. He has 6 surgeries already.
He played 70 games last year.
Yeah, but that's anomaly.
Yeah, like
they didn't think so.
Though the thing with those contracts and why they never really pay off is because Paul George is how old, like 34 or of the cases. Yeah, 35, and you gave him a 4-year contract. So you're expecting 2 to 3 years of that, and then that last year, if he plays, he's gonna be 39, making how much money? 50 something million, however the contract is. So like that has never been like those. You have to think about the last 2 years of the contract, and he hasn't even really been that great for the first year of the contract. So you can only imagine how it's gonna. Unless he has a major comeback next year, I don't know how. Nah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Anyway, that is it for our pick 5. And now I want to see. Keelan, I'm going to you first. Who do you call game on?
I call game on Clapham Bulls. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so you call a game on Clapham Bulls.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll leave that alone.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. And what about you, Alan? Who do you call game on?
Call game on Tyrese Halliburton, friendly contributor on the group project in Paris.
Well, I call game on Butler's representatives. I think they did a poor job of keeping telling him to keep his mouth shut. Right? So I really call game on them. And I hope going forward that he is able to move Butler and that we could have something else to talk about. Anyhow, next week we will have the BABA segment. We know the season is starting the 31st of January. We also know we have some breaking news from Shams, but apparently it was Shams Ninja. That one of our co-hosts now will be coaching a Premier League team. And we will have all of that and more on the BABA segment on Court in Session. But for right now, the court is adjourned.